Recently, I visited New York City with my mom and my sister. We left on a Wednesday and came back on a Sunday, so it was kind of like a long weekend. It was such a great time, and I definitely want to go back soon. Our first stop was Beatnik, where we got some plant-based food to fuel up before going on a walk to explore the city. Our hotel was pretty close to Central Park in Times Square, so the first night I walked around the park a little by myself in the evening while my sister and my mom did other stuff. Then after that we went to dinner. We had Mexican that night. It was pretty good. Not the best out of the places we tried, but good nonetheless. On the first morning, my mom had a conference, so my sister and I spent the morning walking around, stopped for a coffee and chai, got iced because it was so warm that day. I'm just in a t-shirt, as you see. We saw a bit of the High Line and then headed up to the MoMA. After the MoMA, I made my way to Trader Joe's and to stock up on some fun snacks that we can't get back in Canada. I'm still working my way through some of the ones that I brought home with me. For dinner that night, we went to Serendipity. A friend of my sister's had recommended this place with the aesthetic inside, which was super cute. But to be honest, the food was a little disappointing. There weren't a ton of vegetarian options, so I chose a salad, which I was very grateful for because my mom and my sister shared a mac and cheese and chicken wings, and they didn't like them that much. The next morning, my mom and I walked around a little and we went through the flower district, which was so lovely to see all the blooms and colors. The city was honestly so pretty. It was still pretty warm this morning, but it was going to get colder that afternoon. We stopped at Blue Bottle to fuel up on some coffee, and I had a really good iced coffee there. Then we went to the New York Public Library to look around at the beautiful building. After the library, the three of us headed to Italy to get some lunch. We first went to this place actually in Italy. They have a location in Bologna, and we wanted to kind of recreate that memory, I guess. We then worked our way in the direction of Soho, stopping at various stores along the way. It was getting colder at this point, and we were definitely regretting not bringing our warmer jackets, hats, and gloves that were all still in the hotel. We stopped for a tea because we were so cold, and it honestly started hailing at this point. But we survived. For dinner, we went to Miss Lily's. I think this was the best food that we had the whole trip. It was Jamaican, and they had rum cocktails and jerk chicken. We got the jerk chicken, the jerk salmon, and a side of fries, and then it comes with rice and greens. Next morning we did some more exploring and shopping. And stopped to fuel up on some matcha before hitting the Chelsea flea market, which you'll see in the next clips. For lunch, we went to Old Days. I'd been craving an acai bowl since we arrived in New York for some reason, and although it was a bit colder, I still got one. Then we went to the FIT museum, which was super fun. My sister's in fashion design, so it was really great to see her in that atmosphere. My mom and I then walked along the High Line a bit before she headed back to the hotel, and I continued to explore things on my own. I walked a ton by myself that evening, making my way to a friend's house for dinner. She'd invited me over after just moving to New York City. We made a gluten-free lasagna with eggplant and a bunch of cheese and then some sauteed mushrooms on the side. After dinner, we sat, had cocktails, and just talked a bunch. It was so nice to get to see her.
So he was like, can I...
We had to leave pretty early for the airport the next morning, so that was our trip in New York. I definitely want to go back again soon. It was such a lovely weekend. Thank you for watching, and I'll post another video soon, I hope.